Yag Darshana Puman. He said the full darshan of the Lord is achieved through the mantra. Iti murtyabhidanena mantra murtim amurtikam. He says what normally is very difficult to do, and that is to see the Lord. People say this all the time, can you show me God? Our answer is really yes, but you have to know how to see Him. You have to see Him in sound. So iti murtyabhidanena mantra murtim amurtikam. Amurtikam means without difficulty. That you see the Murti. Murti amurtikam. So you see the form of the Lord, amurtikam, because the word means two things. Murti means form, and it also means difficulty, according to the Amarakosh Sanskrit dictionary. And so here in this sentence it means that you'll be able to see the Murti, amurtikam, without difficulty. How? Through the mantra. So you can actually transport yourself. When I was a kid, my parents took me to a lot of plays and movies and things like that. And I saw one film called, I think it was Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. It wasn't a Disney or a thing like that. It was black and white. I think it had subtitles. It was probably in Arabic or Farsi or something. And I just remember flying carpets. It became my thing. You know, we had carpets at home and I'd sit on them and let's go, come on, you know. How do you do this? How do you work these things? And actually, the mantra is that flying carpet. You can get on that mantra, you can transport yourself directly to the spiritual world or anywhere else, because Krishna fulfills all desires and He's directly there within the mantra. And you can have direct experience of Krishna, see Him, talk to Him, offer Him things, pour out your heart to Him through the mantra. So this is Narada Muni's great teaching to us earlier in the chapter that I just quoted from, that 3 verses from the end of the chapter. But earlier, Narada Muni talks about how we can use our work also. Whatever work we're doing now, he doesn't offer anything impractical. He says, you're working now. So he said, use a thorn to take out a thorn. If you get a thorn stuck in your arm, you don't have any other tool, you just take another thorn and you take out the thorn that got stuck. So similarly, we're stuck in work. It means karma. We're forced to work because we owe a debt. And material nature knows how much it is. We may not know, but when we're born, there's a heavy debt laying over our head. And that's why everyone's telling us, look, little Jiva, you got to get going. Don't sit around, go to school, get a job, you got to move because you owe. So off to work you go. And little Jiva doesn't know that, but when he figures it out, that he's caught up in this cycle of work, karma, debt, paying it off, then he can use the same work that he's doing now by dedicating it to Krishna, and it removes that thorn of material existence. I mean, we're humans, we're lucky because we're right in the middle of the universe. We have enough experience of suffering here so that we're motivated, aren't we? Say yes. But say yes more enthusiastically. And we're also not so oppressed, especially here in California, by our environment, that it curtails our ability to perform service. I mean, it's pretty close if you're on an H-1 visa or something like that. There's a lot of oppression here. Motivation is there, but it's not so bad that we can't adjust our lives in such a way that we can offer what we're doing to Krishna. So we're in a good situation, and we can use the basic principles that Narada Muni is teaching us in order to come to the perfectional stage of life. He's our friend. Narada Muni is our friend. He's extending himself to us through his teachings, through visiting personally in various ways. In fact, Prabhupada used to say that he'd come to the kirtans. Some of those kirtans were so ecstatic, and you did not see Narada Muni? He was there. So now, I'd like to visit another transcendental personality, if we can, from the Bhagavatam, and that's Prahlad Maharaj. So without coming to the position of Prahlad Maharaj, then we have little chance of perfecting our chanting. So Prahlad Maharaj shows us the qualities that are necessary in order to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's no doubt in anybody's mind, anywhere in the universe, because everyone saw it, that the Lord was pleased with Prahlad Maharaj, and that's why Nrsingadev appeared. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj's Ishtadeva, the deity that he worships in his heart, is Govinda, Krishna. But it just so happened that Govinda got really mad when he saw how Prahlad was being treated by his father. And that's why he assumed the form of Lord Nrsingadev. In fact, it was so astonishing, this form of Nrsingadev, that even Lakshmi Devi, who's his husband, didn't recognize her husband. It's like, I'm not sure. But Prahlad knew. And that's because Nrsingadev came for him. He was attracted by his qualities. It goes to show that what really attracts Krishna is the simple qualities of bhakti. And I'm going to read you some of the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. And just by hearing about them, you're going to feel enlivened, because practically speaking, you'll notice this. When you read the Shastra, you imbibe the qualities of the Shastra. You know what the word imbibe means? That's right. It means to drink. It comes from a Latin word which means to drink something. What? Beber. Beber. That's right. Beber means to drink. So it's cognate with that word from Latin. Beber. Beer. Maybe. Check it out. See if it has any connection. And so when you hear about the qualities of a pure devotee and the qualities also that Krishna mentions, you have this experience. You'll see, you read in the 16th chapter of the Gita when Krishna mentions the divine qualities. When you read them, your endorphins will actually start to flow in your system, and you'll feel suddenly fortified and empowered just by hearing the qualities of the divine devotees. And similarly, when you hear Prahlad's qualities, you'll feel a similar way. And it'll give your mind an objective in life. So Krishna says in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that there are certain qualities that are meant to open us to the secrets of the universe. And they start off amazingly with humility. Who would have known that humility was the secret to life? It's a secret to everything. In fact, I have proof that it's the secret to management, because I know one of the most learned management experts in the world. His name is Rupanuga Prabhu. He lives in Irvine, near Laguna Beach, California. He has a PhD in management, teaches at Chapman University. It's a top flight university there. And the first time I met him, he picked me up at the airport. We got in the car. I said, "Okay, Rupanuga Prabhu, you teach me management." He said, "You already know. Prabhupada already taught you." And I said, "Come on, don't cheat me, tell me." He said, "Trinadapi sunichena." It's about humility. And every once in a while, I can draw out of him some lessons about management, but he always comes back to this point, that humility is the foundational point. In fact, Krishna mentions this as the quality through which the mysteries of the universe are available to us: humility, and then pridelessness, and then nonviolence, and he goes on from there. So, just the other day, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, I think it was a Sunday, we were talking about a few points from the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And does anybody remember any of the 5 main points that I made before I go into? One was to be patient. What was the context? And use the mics, by the way. Go ahead and say it again.
Fifth of those was be patient.
Yes.
I can recall that.
Do you remember the context, how we brought it up?
You mentioned that Krishna comes at the right time. He's expert. He knows when exactly to come, appear in our lives.
Okay. So the chapter was chapter 4, and it was verses 25 and 26. 7, 4, 25, 26. And in this verse, the demigods are praying to the Lord, and they say, the voice of the Lord, this is the Lord speaking back to the demigods. They approached him. They said, the voice of the Lord vibrated as follows: O best of learned persons, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. Another thing I note in this translation is that by offering prayers, the living entities get benediction. Where else in the Bhagavatam are you aware of a very common statement where it's mentioned that by hearing the Bhagavatam, speaking the Bhagavatam, you get benedictions? The hint is that it's the most common verse. We say it all the time. Okay, go ahead. Take the mic. Belt it out.
Shrunvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hidyantastoya bhadrani vidhonuti suhitsatam.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good to have such knowledge available. Now explain to us why you chose that verse.
So we talks about different punya, like when we materialistic people, they talks about punya that, okay, you do this, you get this. But here the Bhagavatam is
Do
talking...
they talk about it at Intel?
Well, they have different punya, like, okay, you do this, then you'll get stocks, or you'll get promotion, appraisal. But that's also one thing that we ask from the demigods and everyone. But here it says that punya, the greatest pious activity happens just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, this is something to remember. That, well, let's just put it to you this way. Have you ever felt oppressed by the nature of the material world? Do you like this darkness, by the way, this time of year? No. Do you enjoy it? No. Do you find it oppressive? I do too. There are other things that are oppressive about the material nature. Without getting too depressed about it, do you want to name a couple? Oh, yes, please. Depression for 500, please. She's enthusiastic for this one. This is cathartic. Let's talk about it.
This morning I was driving to work and I was just coming out to merge in the freeway, and there were 6 lanes and I saw the truck going and I don't know which car hit which car, but all I see is spinning the cars and hitting few other cars, and the 4 lines of the cars get hidden, and one of the cars just went up on the ramp. And I was just thinking, Krishna, this is, I don't know, these people had anything to do with it, and just got caught up into it. It doesn't take much, and you don't know where it comes from. So
just minding your own business, and padam yad vipadam. Some misstep is there, and an anvil falls on your head. Piano comes out of the window, falls on your head. Can happen any time. I was waiting at the airport. It was a very crowded day. I was for some time doing book distribution at LAX, and we used to go there every day. And one day it was a long traffic jam to get in, which is uncharacteristic. It took an hour just to get close to the airport so we could park there, and found out the next day that somebody had been killed there. They had a brand new Volvo, which is the safest car you can get. And they were doing construction, and something fell from the second level through the roof of the Volvo, the one part of the Volvo that's not protected, especially from anvils. And it came through the roof, and it killed the driver. And we were just realizing that person was on their way somewhere, and something happened. So missteps for 500 goes to Hansapriya. You feel like naming any more? I mean, there's ways in which, yes, Shraddha's up for it.
I don't know whether it's directly
I don't know why, but this feels great. I mean, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Not directly related, but there's a side connection. The last verse of Guru Ashtakam, where it says, Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi, dhyayam stuvam tasya yashasti sandhyam vande guru shicharnarindam. So it's talking about that you should be praying 3 times a day, and then you get his benedictions. Yes,
talking about punya and staying in touch and things like that. This is really the devotional way of life. I like the way you're saying, is staying in touch 3 times a day. Stopping to do your Gayatri mantra 3 times a day, in which you're saying these prayers, it brings the mind back into the flow of the spiritual energy. Because normally when we're trying to figure out how to navigate through the freeway, down the freeway, all the problems we're dealing with at work, anything? Anyone? Problems at work? How many approximately? No, I'm smart. How many, if you're going to count, do you have to deal with? Shutramalika, how many you got? 5? 5, 10, maybe more?
Depends upon the day.
Yeah. We have a lot of things we're dealing with, so it helps. The only thing that helps, in fact, is to take shelter of the spiritual energy. So coming back to that. So there are many difficult situations in the material world. Don't feel bad if you find yourself in the middle of them, because we are. We're basically in the middle of an ocean. And there are going to be trials, tribulations, and we're basically swimming to stay alive here. And same for everybody. Don't think other people aren't in the same situation as you are. They are. The only difference is that we have information here about how to deal with those situations. And that is to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is guaranteed. In fact, I promise you that if you take time to read Bhagavatam diligently every day, especially in a regulated way, pick a number of pages that you don't go below and hear it every day, that your problems will be mollified, that they will be easier to deal with. And not only that, as we're hearing here, you'll develop this asset. It's a punya. It's a real thing. It's actually the real thing. It's a spiritual credit that you get from hearing the Bhagavatam. If you can spare some time to hear like a whole pastime, like the pastime of Prithu Maharaj, it's pretty lengthy, but when you get to the end of that section, the Bhagavatam will start pouring upon your head benedictions. Don't you like to get benedictions? Yes. And if you get them from someone you know where it's going to be effective, then you're like, wow, that's pretty good. So the Bhagavatam does that. You come to the end of Prithu Maharaj and benedictions start pouring out. Mukharvind, could you find a few of them? We'll look them up and tell you what you win for reading them. Tell them what they've won, Mukharvind. So, yes. Yes, please. You know, Prabhupada writes in one of his books, it's one of the small books, and he says that one of the ways of praying is to admit to Krishna the way you're being tossed in the material ocean. Open your heart to him and tell him, you know, he'll understand and he'll appreciate. And he's not the one that's, he won't turn a deaf ear to you. Yes.
So one of the benedictions I remember that by reading Prithu Maharaj, if a king recites this 3 times before going on a war, he will win the war.
He'll win the war.
Yes.
That's very compelling. Any person who describes the great characteristics of King Prithu with faith and determination, whether he reads or hears of them himself or helps others to hear of them, is certainly to attain the very planet which Maharaj Prithu attained. In other words, such a person also returns home to the Vaikuntha planets, back to Godhead. What do you think? On a scale of 1 to 10, a 10 being the best, how good do you think that is? 10s, 11s, it's way up there, you know. It's way better than, you know, hearing CNN or something like that. If one hears the characteristics of Prithu Maharaj and is a Brahmana, he becomes perfectly qualified with Brahminical powers. If he is a Kshatriya, he becomes a king of the world. If he is a Vaishya, he becomes a master of other Vaishyas and many animals. And if he's a Shudra, he becomes the topmost devotee. It does not matter whether one is a man or woman. Anyone who with great respect hears this narration of Maharaj Prithu will become the father of many children if he is without children, and will become the richest of men if he is without money. I mean, it goes on and on from here. And throughout the Bhagavatam, you'll find these. These are real benedictions that are coming from exalted personalities. So derive your wealth from the Bhagavatam. And it's inconceivable how just by lending your ears to hearing the Bhagavatam that you'll receive all these things. Not only you become learned, you'll also be able to deal with various stressful situations, because the Bhagavatam deals with all the various changes of the mind and tells how one deals with the various psychological challenges that we'll meet in this world. So, we heard about being patient. That also is in this verse that we'll go on hearing, we'll go on practicing our devotional service, but this is one of the main instructions that we're given in the Srimad Bhagavatam is to be patient. What would you say if I asked you what the quintessential verse that of the Srimad Bhagavatam that advises us to be, okay, go ahead, Priya Kishori, that advises us to be patient? Give the Sanskrit, the English, and a little commentary.
Tatte nukampam susuvikshamano bunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvagvapurbir vidadam namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadayavak.
That was worth the price of admission and whatever trouble it took to get here tonight just to hear that. Tell us more about the verse.
So this is found in the prayers of Lord Brahma to Krishna, and he says that that one should be patient, and he should, through all the sufferings that come upon him, understanding that I deserve more than what I'm receiving now. And on the point of patience, you were mentioning in a previous class that, about your incident in Chicago, and you said that we don't know how many times we blew it in this world, and we can't even remember 50 years back. How are we to remember millions of lifetimes? So when we're patient, we take shelter of the Lord, knowing that not only does he know our record, but he has the power to destroy it as well.
That was good. Well done. Bravo. Yeah. I liked how you said that we take shelter of the Lord, trusting him. This patience really means trusting the Lord, that in due course of time, he'll work things out in my favor, especially if I'm taking shelter of him, that he knows exactly how to make things work. I don't have to make so many plans myself. I have to somehow or other stay in the game. Just stay on the field, or at least even on the bench. If you're put on the team and you know they won't let you play, at least stay on the bench and don't get kicked off the team somehow. Because if the team wins the championship, you'll get a ring also. Even if you're sitting on the bench, that's a fact. So, this verse advocates that somehow or other we stay in the game. You don't have to be a great devotee. You just have to stay alive somehow or other. Be patient and stay alive. And the way to stay alive is to be patient. And it's so profound. This verse says sadayabhak, which means that you're an inheritor. It means that if you're patient in taking shelter of the Lord throughout this lifetime, no matter what comes to you, if you're just patient, you don't do anything else, but you're just patient, patiently go on with your practice of devotional service, however meager it may be, you will inherit the kingdom of God. Sadayabhak means an inheritor. So this is a very important verse on patience. What are one of the other 5 points that we made the other day on Sunday? Okay, 1, 2.
So we talked, you were telling about how we should carefully ask what we need, carefully be very careful about what we ask for. We should not ask for things that we cannot handle. That's
true, yeah. Be aware of what you're after. Can you peacefully enjoy it, what you're asking for? And I quoted from a modern song that said, watch out, you might get what you're after. And you might actually, the desire can be fulfilled, and we've proved it again and again through the Sri Upanishad, that Krishna's there fulfilling all desires, right?
Yeah. We saw an example about how Hiranyakashipu went on asking for benedictions from Brahma, which he wanted to become the master of the universe, and he started asking. He knew that his brother was killed by Varaha, so he was asking for how he cannot be killed by an animal, neither an animal nor a human, neither in the day nor in the night, and he kept asking because he was so greedy to own the universe, but in the end he had a very horrible.
It crushed him.
Yeah.
He couldn't handle it. It's not meant for a living entity to be a big controller. We're servants. Selfless service is the answer, not trying to be the big controller. Thank you. Thanks for remembering that. Shraddha?
Actually, she covered one of them, which is to not to make material plans, but to make spiritual plans.
Okay,
then
don't make
the-
material plans. So that's number 3. So be patient. Don't ask for benedictions you can't handle. And
Pray hard.
And okay, that's number 4. So number 3 was to don't make material plans, make spiritual plans. And number 4 was pray. And how hard should you pray?
Very hard.
Very hard. Pray hard. And number 5. It doesn't count unless you have a microphone. Okay.
I think Sudhiri Mata Prabhu covered number 5 because that was the last, to be patient. But he also emphasized that we should follow the Shastras. So take help from the Shastras.
Yeah, how hard can that be? I mean, first of all, you got to find out what they say. That helps. There's a lot of times people say, you know, do you know Bhagavad Gita? I know Bhagavad Gita. It says, do your work. Like, that's it? That's all you got out of Bhagavad Gita? No, there's 700 verses. If you can learn C++, you can learn 700 verses of the Gita. So, you know, learn what they are. Find out what Krishna likes, what he says to do and not do. And so, for instance, he says, do yajna. He says, this is an important instruction. He says, the universe is made for yajna. Because everyone's wondering, what's this world for? This comes up also in the 8th canto. I read it. I read it. I thought it was in the Gajendra section, but it's just beyond that. And I couldn't find it when I was looking for it because I had it misplaced. And I just read it again yesterday. It's a very instructive part of the Bhagavatam. And there is saying that the sages, well, an ordinary person has no idea what the world's for. People speculate all the time what it's for. And some people say you're meant to enjoy the world, don't they? Who says that? Marlboro, Coca-Cola, RCA, Disney. I mean, you know, enjoy the world. And then who says, or do other people say, give it up? Give up the world. Yogis, but many people, you know, Nivritti Marg, they say don't engage, somehow or other pull back, renounce, and things like that. So that's also a common philosophy. And so, you know, this personality is saying in the Bhagavatam, like, what should I do? Enjoy the world, stay in the material world, or should I leave the material world behind? And says, okay, what do these sages say? And what does the Shastra say? Shastra said it's not your home, therefore I'll just follow that. I won't make this my home. Interestingly, side note, when we were just reading recently in Govardhan, there's a section of the Bhagavatam where the sons of the Prachetas are going off for training. At first, there's 10,000 sons of, not of the sons of the Prachetas, but of I'm sorry? Daksha. Yeah, Prajapati Daksha has 10,000 sons. He sends them off to do yajna, austerity, to prepare themselves to take Grihastha ashram. And Narada Muni comes along, he finds them all, you know, doing all these austerities and saying, you know, don't waste this. He said, you should become renunciates, you know, leave everything and become sannyasis. Of course they do, because they're really intelligent. And in teaching them, he gives an analogy. And in the very complex analogy, he says, there's a hole that people enter into and they never come back. That was one of the parts of the analogy. The analogy is very abstract, but they were very intelligent, were the sons of Daksha, and they figured it all out, what he meant, just by hearing it one time. And then they was like, okay, we're out of here. And when he told about the hole, he said, later on, it's given more explanation, that entering the material world is like entering a hole. And he said, once you enter the hole, you don't come out. So coming into the material world is a little dangerous, because once you enter in here, really, you don't come out again, unless there's some major intervention, that somebody comes and pulls you out of this hole in the material world. So you have to think very carefully before you enter in any holes. If you see a hole somewhere, like, just don't jump in. Because, you know, once you get in there, it's like, how do I get out? It's like, I don't know, it's up to you now. It's really difficult. So the material world's just like that. On the other hand, they understood, and it was explained later in the chapter, that leaving the material world is like entering a hole, and you go back into Vaikuntha, and then you never come back from there. And so we have to, from moment to moment, think what kind of a hole we're getting ourselves into. be careful, because if you enter into certain contracts with the material world, it may be difficult to get out of them again. Just consider that. Okay, so those are the 5 points, and for today, we've moved up to the section in the Bhagavatam where we're hearing about the qualities, as I promised you, of Prahlad Maharaj. And this is 7.4, 31 through 32. The qualities of Maharaj Prahlad, the son of Hiranyakashipu, are described herewith. He was completely cultured as a qualified brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the supersoul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older godbrothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. How did you feel when you heard those? So let's read them again, and you'll see that when you hear these qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, it causes the mind to aspire for these things. Like, oh, I didn't know these things were possible. Because the lower modes of nature are so oppressive, they block our ability to taste these qualities. But this is the real nectar of life, is to refine oneself and develop these qualities, because, as the beginning of the 7th canto points out, that's what attracts Krishna. The only reason that we don't perceive Krishna at every moment is due to our lack of qualities. Well, my lack of qualities, you're in a different category. But due to my lack of qualities, I'm not able to perceive Krishna. And therefore, in the argument that was given by Shukadeva Goswami earlier in the canto, he says, of course, Krishna is equal to everyone. But some perceive him, others don't. Some are able to take advantage of his benedictions, others aren't. And it's because of their own qualities. And if we understand what good qualities are and how to develop them, then this is the key to life. This is what makes human life exciting, is to be in pursuit of refining oneself and developing these qualities. And as one does, one is able to perceive the presence of Krishna. Sattvam yad brahmadarshanam. Even touching the mode of goodness, the Bhagavatam says, Partivad dharano dumas tasmaragnis trayimayaha tamasastu rajas tasmat sattvam yad brahmadarshanam. That he compares the mode of ignorance to be like raw wood. The mode of passion is like smoke. Smoke disturbs but never serves. And then you've got goodness, which is like fire. In fire you can actually offer ghee and mantras, Vedic sacrifice. And you can attain the benefit of human life. And from fire, from goodness, sattvam yad brahmadarshanam, you can actually see for yourself that Krishna is there with us all the time. You're walking on the body of God right now. You're sitting on him. How does that make you feel? Like an ant. Yeah, so this is the nectar of life, is actually develop these qualities, so to know what they are, and to know that there are pure devotees who imbibe these qualities. By worshiping them and following their footsteps, we'll also attain the same result. No matter where we're starting now, no matter what kind of combination of lower qualities we may have taken in here and there by drinking different substances here in the material world, passion, ignorance, so forth, those will be purified by following the footsteps of the great souls. Who can verify that with a verse from the 1st canto, 2nd chapter of the Bhagavatam? Was that you? Again? Okay. If you don't do it, then Mukharvin's going to do it, so. Anyone? If Malini was here, she'd know, because she always smiles every time I quote this verse.
Just Bhejire Muniothagre.
That's right. But kind of belt it out.
Bhejire Muniothagre Bhagavantam adokshajam sattvam visuddham che Shemaya kalpante yenutaniha So it says that previously Bhejri Muniothagre Bhagwantam, they worship previously the great sages have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Bhagavatam Aduk, and whoever follows that, they also get the same destination.
How does it feel carrying around such knowledge on the tip of your tongue? Does it make you happy?
Yes.
It does. Yeah. Okay, good. You should be happy. Okay, here's the purport to this wonderfully enlivening verse. These are some of the qualifications of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana because a Vaishnava has all the good qualities of a Brahmana. Shamo Dhammas Tapa Shaucham Shantir Arjavamevacha Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam Brahma Karma Subhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. These qualities are manifest in the body of a Vaishnava. Therefore, a perfect Vaishnava is also a perfect Brahmana, as indicated here by the words Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. A Vaishnava is always determined to understand the absolute truth, and to understand the absolute truth, one needs to have a full control over his senses and mind. Prahlad Maharaj possessed all these qualities. A Vaishnava is always a well-wisher to everyone. The 6 Goswamis, for example, are described in this way: Dhira Dhira Jana Priyao. They were popular with both the gentle and the ruffians. Shraddha, what's a ruffian? A Vaishnava must be equal to everyone, regardless of one's position. Atmavat. A Vaishnava should be like Paramatma. How do you like that? A Vaishnava should be like Paramatma. You like it? Indeed, he is in the heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshara janatishthiti. Paramatma does not hate anyone. Okay, Pandits who specialize in the Upanishad, give me a verse. Give me 2 verses from Upanishad that proves that. Hey, wait a minute. What Terejiti Tanejiti? No, that's not the one. Come on, tell us. Chop, chop, chop.
Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva budvijanatah tatra ko mohakashoka ekatvam anipashyatah.
Translation. Call a friend. Okay, let's work it out. Say the verse again, word for word, and you'll figure it out. It's in the Sanskrit.
Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva budvijanatah tatra ko mohakashoka.
What's moha and shoka? What does moha mean? Anybody?
Attachment.
Illusion. Moha. How about shoka?
Anxiety.
Yeah, like lamentation. Okay, moha shoka. And it's saying that you won't have moha shoka. If what? Yasmin sarvani bhutani. Bhutani means all living entities. Yasmin sarvani bhutani. Yes, go ahead.
If you see all living entities with equally, then free from lamentation.
Yeah, how should you see them?
Equally, as spiritual sparks. Quality one.
Yeah. So say the verse again. Yasmin. Yasmin.
Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva budvijanatah tatra ko mohakashoka ekatvam anupashyatah.
Okay, you can look it up. Tell us the translation. Tell us the word for word also.
One who sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him?
Now look at the, that's number 7. Okay, there it is. Do the word for word. We'll repeat after you.
Yasmin.
Yasmin.
In the situation.
In the situation.
Sarvani.
Sarvani.
All.
All.
Bhutani.
Bhutani.
Living entities.
Living entities.
Atma.
Atma.
The Chitkana or spiritual spark.
The Chitkana or spiritual spark.
Eva.
Eva.
Only.
Only.
Abhut.
Abhut.
Exist as.
Exist as.
Vijanataha.
Vijanataha.
Of one who knows.
Of one who knows.
Tatra.
Tatra.
Therein.
Therein.
Ka.
Ka.
What?
What?
Moha.
Moha.
Illusion.
Illusion.
Ka.
Ka.
What?
What?
Shokaha.
Shokaha.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Ekatvam.
Ekatvam.
Oneness and quality.
Oneness and quality.
Anupashyataha.
Anupashyataha.
Of one who sees through authority or one who sees constantly like that.
Of one who sees through authority or one who sees constantly like that. That's a good citation. Very good to have. So this verse proves this idea of the devotee seeing like the Paramatma. And what's the other verse that goes with this one? You guys, you say. Take the mic. I'll give you a hint. Give him the mic. It's right next to this one. What number is this verse?
7.
So is it 6 or is it 8?
6.
6? Is that a statement or a question?
6.
Say.
Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupashita ti sarvabhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupshate.
Move it to 6, please. Same Shastra. Okay, do it again.
Yastu sarvani bhutani
Yastu sarvani bhutani
atmani evanupashita
atmanyevanupashyati
sarvabhuteshu chatmanam
sarvabhuteshu chatmanam
tato na vijugupshate.
tatona vijagupsate. Word for word.
Ya.
Ya.
He who.
Tu.
But. Sarvani.
All.
Bhutani. Living entities. Atmani. In relation to the Supreme Lord. Eva. Only.
Anupashyati.
Observes in a systematic way.
Sarvabhuteshu.
In every living being. Cha. And. Atmanam. The super soul. Tataha. Thereafter. Na. Not. Vijagupshate. Hates anyone.
Translation.
He who sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and who sees all living entities as his part and parcels and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything never hates anything or any being.
So don't these 2 verses relate well to what we just heard? 3 people? Yes. Yeah, it definitely does. Listen, here's the section again. Listen carefully. They were popular with both general and the ruffians. A Vaishnava must be equal to everyone regardless of one's position. Atmavat, a Vaishnava should be like Paramatma. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshara jandatishtiti. Paramatma does not hate anyone. Indeed, he is in the heart of a Brahmana, but he is also in the heart of a pig. So a key word in both of these verses, anupashyati. So pashyati means to see, and anu means to follow. So it means to systematically see. In other words, by following what the Shastra says, that's how you should see. The Shastra chakshus, that's how you should see the living entities. Even if you haven't realized it fully, you should still follow the Shastra and understand that living entities are spiritual beings beyond the gross and subtle material bodies. So this is one of the qualities that Prahlad Maharaj has. that he's like Paramatma because he's seeing everybody equally. He's seeing the spiritual aspect of each person. Okay, continuing in the purport for 7.4.32. He is in the heart of a Brahmana, but he is also even in the heart of a pig. Anybody here ever seen a pig? Yes. Yeah? Where'd you see a pig? In Vrindavan? If you've been in Vrindavan, you've definitely seen a pig. Yeah, and is Krishna there within the heart of the pig? Yes. Did you realize it? Did you see him there? Did you offer obeisances? Can we offer obeisances to a pig? Absolutely. We can offer obeisance to a pig or a dog or any other living entity because Krishna is there within the heart. So this is a real vision. This is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita is the sign of a learned person. Where does he say that in the Bhagavad Gita? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, Kautakarnika, the source of all entertainment. Servant.
विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणी गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव शुपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिना.
Translation is?
A learned person, a humble sage who is learned also sees a learned brahmana, a cow, an elephant, and a dog eater with an equal vision. Because he sees them on a spiritual level.
She's on the spiritual platform. Yes, very good. Okay, so that person's a pundit. As the moon never refuses to distribute its pleasing rays even to the home of a Chandala, a Vaishnava never refuses to act for everyone's welfare. How does that make you feel? Happy, right? Therefore, what is it? Dhira Dhira Janapriyo. Therefore, a Vaishnava is always obedient to the spiritual master, Arya. The word Arya refers to one who is advanced in knowledge. One who is deficient in knowledge cannot be called Arya. At the present, however, the word Arya is used to refer to those who are godless. This is the unfortunate situation of Kali Yuga. The word Guru refers to the spiritual master who initiates his disciple into advancement in the science of Krishna, or Krishna consciousness, as stated by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Shri Bhagavan Mantro Padeshaka Gaurav Ityartaha. So let's hear if you have any points or realizations from the sections we just read and discussed, either Ishopanishad or from the purport. Yes. Questions are also allowed.
So in the beginning of this purport, Prabhupada says these are some of the qualifications of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana because Vaishnava has all the good qualities of a Brahmana. And this reminded me of the verse, Viprad Vishad Guna Yutada Ravinda Naba Pada Ravinda Vimukad Shwapacham Varishtam Manye Tadarpita Mano Vachane Hitarta Pranam Punati Sakulam Natuburimana, where he says that a Brahmana who has all the 24 qualities that are mentioned in the Sanat Sujata, he cannot liberate anybody, whereas a dog eater who is following the process of devotional service can not only liberate himself but his entire family.
Very well done. I just have one slight adjustment. It says if a Brahmana has all these 24 qualities but doesn't have faith in the Supreme Lord. That's the only thing. Yeah.
So I was also connecting with how Srila Prabhupada says that the moon distributes its rays equally even on the Chandala. So being a Brahmana Bandhu, being a Brahmana does not qualify us in any way, but a dog eater is not a disqualification at the same time. Being from a lower birth, if we strictly follow the principles that are mentioned in the Shastra.
Yes, this is a very important verse given by Prahlad Maharaj in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavatam, in which, and it is a verse that's frequently quoted by Prabhupada and various acharyas to show that if one becomes a Vaishnava, then naturally he has she has all the qualities of the Brahmana. So if one's a Vaishnava, then one's automatically a Brahmana. Now, in part of our history of our lineage, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur reintroduced a process or not reintroduced, but introduced a process that when devotees would take initiation, diksha, into our sampradaya, that he would give them a Brahman's thread. And this, and the Gayatri mantra. This was because at the time, actually previous to this, when someone would become a Vaishnav, they would renounce the varnashrama. They would put on white like the Goswamis. And they wouldn't identify with any of the varnas or ashrams because they would say, and which is true from the Shastra, that the Vaishnava is beyond the varnas and ashrams. However, because the line of Vaishnavas coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had become deviated so much and degraded, people didn't consider the Vaishnavas very well, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas especially. And to emphasize that when one actually became initiated by a bona fide spiritual master in the Vaishnav line and assumed the qualities of a Vaishnav, that one also became a Brahmin, that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta did something which was like the reverse of what was happening. He would actually give the Brahman's thread and say, which meant something. It doesn't mean anything, if you go to Oracle or into people just say, what's that string? Or what are you chanting, 3 times a day. But in India, especially at that time, it meant a lot because, people would see the Brahman's thread and think, oh, you came from a Brahmin family. So he instituted this process of giving the Brahman's thread to those, even if they weren't from Brahmin families, who became Vaishnavas, initiated Vaishnavas, to show the import of the verse that Pri Kishori just brought to our attention, which is that when you develop the qualities of a Vaishnav, when you become a Vaishnav, then naturally you have the qualities of a Brahmana. Any other points? Yes.
But how in your previous lectures, you mentioned that equality doesn't mean, we see the equality in quality,
yes.
But even though the Paramatma is within everyone's hearts, our dealings with everyone is not the same. And the purport highlights that when it says how Prahlad Maharaj, even though he did see equality, but his dealings and reciprocations with different people were different.
This is a very important point. Now, we notice that if we look carefully, that we live in a bidimensional universe. There's a spiritual aspect and there's a material aspect to this world. Which would you say is more appreciated or honored in this world? Our spiritual aspect or our material aspect? Institutionally, which is more honored? I would disagree with you. That most of you said material aspect. And I'll tell you why. For instance, in the United States of America, we follow various documents. One's called the Magna Carta, and based on the Magna Carta, we have the Constitution of the United States, Declaration of Independence. And in these documents, it is stated, written by Thomas Jefferson, a great statesman early on in the United States during the American Revolution, that we hold it as self-evident that all men are created equal. So how is it that people are equal, would you say? Materially speaking, are they equal? Is anybody in this room equal to another? Everybody, if you test on any level, Hridayana Maharaj brings this point out very frequently and very effectively. If you test anybody on any material level, you'll find that there's variety everywhere. Everyone has some difference. Some people can run faster. Some people can play music better than others. Some people are better at mathematics than others. Some people have higher emotional intelligence than others, and so forth. So on a material level, we're not equal. So how is it self-evident then that we're all created equal? Now, institutionally, this is what the whole country is based on, this idea that we're all created equal, and that it's self-evident that we are. So if it's not on a material level, then it has to be on a metaphysical level. Meta means above. So it's above the physical level. It's on the metaphysical level. And you could see how this is actually true everywhere, even in human societies that don't have a stated document. People naturally value things like justice, which is not material. Because if it was material, you'd be able to empirically study it, but you can't. What is justice? It's something that is not quantifiable, but is something that we hold as self-evident. For instance, everybody in this room would agree that it is wrong to kill an innocent child. Yes? Thank you. Why? Does it have to be stated somewhere? No, we intuitively know. It's self-evident that these things are wrong. We understand, we intuit because there's a spiritual aspect to it, which is more prominent everywhere than here. Of course, artificially it can be suppressed for some time, but that's the most prominent of our understandings of the world, that these qualities are more important. Justice, compassion, and so forth, which you can't see empirically, which you can't measure on that level, material level. Now, how do we deal with that? Because we also have to, as we're seeing people equally, and Prabhupada brings this up in the verses that you just quoted. He said we shouldn't artificially try to apply this and say that we're Uttama Adhikaris and then treat everybody in the same way, even though we don't see them that way. So on one side, which is our Vyavaharika existence, the way that we deal with the world, we have to be very, very practical. And for instance, you may see a tiger as the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with an individual soul. But it doesn't mean that you'll invite it to come live in your house or that you'll go pet the tiger, right? However, on the Paramartika level, we understand and see that there's a spirit soul within the body and so forth. Other points? Yes. 1, 2.
So Maharaj, there was a mention there that a Vaishnava must be equal to everyone. And you had mentioned the story of when we were talking about Narad Muni, Bajai Veena, when we talked about that. So you had mentioned that the 10,000 sons of the Prachetas, they went to do the penances. So I was reading the other day that when they perform the penances and they see the Lord, then they start praying to Him and they say that, oh Lord, you don't have any enemies, and because you don't have any enemies, you see everybody equally. So I was just thinking that the Vaishnava, doesn't have enemies like that.
Vaishnava doesn't have any enemies. And this is one of the qualities that we see in Prahlad Maharaj, that his father was trying to teach him that there are good people, bad people, and that you should be against some and for others. But Prahlad received a different teaching from Narada. Other things?
This Balimardan Prabhu.
Yes.
So that's from Balimardan Prabhu.
Balimardan.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So he says the ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness, dhriti. And when one is fully qualified, yet is humble and gentle, and when one is able to keep his balance both in sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy, he has the opulence called patience or shama. That is Bhagavad Gita 10:34.
Could you read it again?
Yeah, sure. The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness, that is dhriti.
What is the definition of dhriti? Say more about it. Read it one more time.
The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness.
The ability to overcome unsteadiness. That's a good thing to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever felt unsteady?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's possible because we're mixing it up with the material world. We're working in a complex situation here. We have various responsibilities. Do we not? Yes. Yeah, we do. We have a lot of different responsibilities to our body. Where are some responsibilities that you have practically?
Practical, cooking, cleaning.
Cooking. That's a good one. Yeah. And job, family, there's so many financial responsibilities, health responsibilities, and these things require a lot of maintenance. And it's a constant endeavor to stay balanced. And so to develop the ability, say it again, what Balimardan said?
The ability to overcome unsteadiness.
What's the ability to overcome unsteadiness? Dhriti? Yes. The ability to overcome unsteadiness.
And when one is fully qualified, yet is humble and gentle.
If you're fully qualified but humble and gentle.
And when one is able to keep his balance both in sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy.
Oh, keep your balance in sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy.
He has the opulence called patience.
Then
Shama.
you have the opulence called patience, Shama.
Svambha.
Mike.
Krishna calls Arjuna Dhridavrata.
Dhridavrata.
It sounds like Dhriti.
Yes.
And the word Dhira, they all sound and hold a similar meaning.
Are they connected?
Dhriti and Dhrida come from like the same.
What is the root?
To uphold and be strong.
And what is the root word?
Dhr.
Dhrid?
Dhrit.
Dhrit.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nice observation. Okay, yes? Are we following the microphone protocol? Go ahead.
So I was just thinking, Prabhu, how much these qualities are important also to serve the spiritual master. Because if we don't have the understanding of these qualities and practice it ourselves, it's very possible that I misunderstand my spiritual master's activities. Because sometimes I have some quarrel with some devotees, but then when my spiritual master talks to both of us, both of them have the same love for the spiritual master. So when the spiritual master's behavior, if I want to understand why he is acting in the way he is behaving, I will misunderstand him and commit an offense to my spiritual master, and which is the key in our spiritual life. Because then we may externally only accept a spiritual master, but within our heart, when we are alone, we may not be able to relish the qualities of a spiritual master, but rather when I am alone, I would think that he is partial, or he's like this, or he's like that. So mentally I'll be committing so many offenses without knowing that the spiritual master is practicing this, and he's trying to shower his mercy on everybody equally. So I was just thinking how much this is important. So I can be happy at all levels and truly serve the Guru, the spiritual master.
Yes, so one of the ways in which it is similar to the point I made earlier, to be able to take advantage of Krishna's mercy, we have to refine ourselves. To take advantage of Krishna's representative, his agent, then we also have to refine ourselves and be able to appreciate the qualities. Thank you, good point. Okay, internet?
So this is Alex Zarinov. Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj, please accept our obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. We are very much inspired by that point, how you connected the beginning of the 7th canto, where it is said about the lack of good qualities, which we can find in such a great example like Prahlad Maharaj, and by doing so, we can attract the merciful glance of the Lord.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that point back. That is that we're talking about Prahlad Maharaj, and we're remembering his qualities. And if we serve Prahlad Maharaj, then we'll also take on those same qualities through service to Prahlad Maharaj. One of the ways we've talked about this here at ISV over the years, that Prahlad Maharaj had a mission, and he expresses it in the 9th chapter of the 7th canto, in which he talks about how he laments for the way that people are caught up with the material world and feels that they're being crushed by the wheel of time. He also says that they've taken on this huge burden of ugra karma. They're working very hard for no real reward at all. So he says, I don't want to live in the mountains. I don't want to go to the Himalayas and just meditate and say mantras to myself. But what does he want to do instead? You were going to say, give him the mic. What does he say instead to do?
I think he wanted to liberate all beings before he...
Where do they live, these living beings?
in India or on the earth?
They live in Silicon Valley.
Oh.
I mean, he says, I don't want to live in the... He's making this contrast. He said, I want to move out to the remote places where many yogis go to be by themselves in a cave. He said, I want to move to the big cities and towns and be able to be with the people so that I can give them the benefit. That's the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. So you can see very easily how us staying in Silicon Valley or whatever big city you're in now, Prabhu in the back, get him a mic, is following the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj. The trouble that you take to make sure that Russian books go out to all the devotees all over North America, is it any trouble?
Hare Krishna.
I know it for a fact it's a lot of trouble. I just talked to Savas last night. They were shipped here in the wrong way. They got all messed up. And then you got to figure out the new prices. I mean, there's unlimited things that you have to deal with, almost like a CEO has to deal with all kinds of problems all the time. Some guy I was just reading about the other day, 62-year-old CEO, he's on his phone all day long dealing with problems. So Prahlad's saying, I want to live like that. Dealing with all these problems, being in the cities and towns, just to be close to the people, to be able to give them Krishna consciousness. So following the same principle that Mukharavind so kindly brought up to us about Bejare Muniyotagre Bhagavan Tamadhuksajam Sattvam Vishuram Shemaya Kalpanteyi Nitaniha. This verse that he quoted said, previously all the great sages worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they could attain the highest benefit, because he's beyond the three modes of material nature. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of those sages, does the same kind of worship, is eligible for the same result. So this point comes out if we serve Prahlad Maharaj by serving his representative in the line of disciplic succession in the same mood, then we'll attain these qualities. We'll get them by the mercy of those personalities. Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I wanted to share something which my wife Kamala shared with me. She showed me a video yesterday of Prabhupada giving a talk and talking about qualities. He's saying that one test, he's saying you have to take only one test to realize if you are in the material world or in the spiritual world. He's saying if you are jealous, then you are in the material world. If you are not jealous, then you are in the spiritual world. He's saying, I don't know I don't think he quoted anything, but he talked about this. He said that that is one important test to realize whether you're spiritual or still in the material world.
That's such an excellent point and a good test. And he does quote from the Bhagavatam there. He quotes, Tada rajas tamo bhava kamalubadayaschaye chete ter anavidam stitam sattve prasidati. Said at the time when you become freed from the lower modes of material nature, rajas and tamas, you'll notice that pinching isn't there. And that then you'll become free from this propensity to be jealous of others. If it's not in that section, he quotes it in other sections and relates to the same principle. But it's a very, very important point. It comes up also in the 7th canto, near the end. What is the verse number? 7:15:8. If you'll show us this verse. We'll do that. Look at this. Translation. Persons who want to advance in superior religion are advised to give up all envy of other living entities. Whether in relationship to the body, words, or mind, there is no religion superior to this. So this is the best of all religious processes, to give up envy of all living entities. Nirmatsaranam satam. Yes.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to tell one more point. I think in the 9th...
No, don't be sorry. When you want to, if you're eager to speak Krishna Katha, it's a boon to the whole world.
So in the 9th canto, the chapters where Lord Ram's pastimes are mentioned, it says, one of the lines that whoever reads this, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra will be free from envy. So
we'll be free from envy. There you have it. And so, you might ask, how do I attain that position? Hear Bhagavatam. Really, take time to read Bhagavatam, know Bhagavatam, enter within the Bhagavatam, and your life will become sublime without question. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Thank you, everyone who joined us here this evening for discussion about Prahlad Maharaj and his qualities. And to everyone who joined us online, we felt your presence very deeply. We're very happy you tuned in. And please turn towards the camera and say Hare Krishna to all our friends. But a little bit louder. Yeah, it's nice to have this opportunity to be connected throughout the world and speak Krishna Katha. And now we have the opportunity to dance. I'm yet to write the book, but the title of it is Never Miss a Chance to Dance. And it is a very intrinsic part of bhakti to dance. So learn to dance for the deity and let yourself go a little bit. And we're going to clear the dance floor now and move all the seats and carpets out of the way, and then you can feel free to dance to the beautiful Artik song written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Thank you very much for coming. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Hare 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 Bo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Prajarine Devishesha Shunyavadi Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Aruti Koshobha Kiba Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Aruti Koshobha Janavi Tatavani Jagamana Loba Janavi Tatavani Jagamana Loba Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Gorangera Roti Koshobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Gorangera Roti Koshobha Jagajana Mana Lobha Jagajana Mana Lobha Oh Jagajana Mana Lobha Haribo, 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 and Thai gold Haribo. Thai gold Haribo, 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 and Thai gold Haribo. Jake Neni Tai Chan Bamigadadhara Jake Neni Tai Chan Bamigadadhara Vikate Advaita Shini Vasyatradara Vikate Advaita Shini Vasyatradara Boshe ache Gaurachan Ratna Singhasane Bose ache Gaurachan Ratna Singhasane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane Narari Ari Kori Chamaradhulaya Narari Ari Kori Chamaradhulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Goshari Gaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshari Gaya Shankha bhaje, Ganta bhaje, bhaje karatala. Shankha bhaje, Ganta bhaje, bhaje karatala. Madhura mridanga baje Paramarasala Madhura mridanga baje Paramarasala Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje Shankha baje, Ganta baje Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje Shankha baje, Ganta baje, Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje. Hey, Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje. Oh, Madhur, Madhur, Madhur baje. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo! Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadanahu Jwala Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadanahu Jwala Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadanahu Jwala Gala Deshe Vanamala Kori Jalamala Gala Deshe Vanamala Kori Jalamala Shiva Shuka Narada Premi Gada Gada Jai Narada Muni Ki Jai Shiva Shuka He Narado Premi Gada Gada Hey, Narado. Baka TV Noda Deke Gaurara Sampada Go Premanande Hey, Baka TV Noda Deke Gaurara Sampada Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah Hare Ha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath H.I. Gosar Kori Charana Vandan Jahoite Vignanash Abhishta Puran H.I. Gosai Jar Muitar Das Tansabara Parariru Mora Panchagras Tandera Charana Sheve Bhakta Sanivas Janame Hoye Abilas H.I. Gosai Javed Raje Kulabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakash Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakash. Get ready! Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Haribo! Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Padi Majami Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narotamodas Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whoa! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Haribo, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Radhikacharya Stotra Shri Shrimad Abhay Charanada Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Radhikacharya Stotra Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavini Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Zagoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokupinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
That's okay.
What do you want to play? Harmonium, cartel, anything? You good?
Namaste Narasimhaya. Dala dala dadaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito nasima parato nasima. Yato yato yami tato nasima. Bahir nasimo hridaye nasimo. Naratse mama bim
Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamala Varenaka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Pringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
सर्व विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की।
हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for joining us on this very auspicious Wednesday evening Bhagavad Gita program. We heard from Maharaj how qualities of Prahlad Maharaj that we read help us in attaining the perfection in our chanting. Anyone of us remember the qualities that we read? The long list? Patience, yes. I remember one which says controlling the mind and senses in the beginning. Tolerance also was there, yes. Aristocracy, education, no pride, no material pride. Yes, seeing Krishna in everyone, acting as Paramatma. It's confirmed. So, and Maharaj also wonderfully described that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or holy names of Krishna, are like flying carpets in his experience. They immediately transport us to the spiritual world, because Krishna and his names are non-different. And so many references we had from scriptures that we read today. And also Maharaj wonderfully guaranteed that regularly reading Srimad Bhagavatam will bring us to a stage where we can handle all situations in our life in a proper, matured way, and we won't be disturbed by the circumstances, be equipoised in happiness or distress. So we are very thankful to Maharaj for enlightening us today and continuing our discussion from Sunday Feast about qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. I felt he has an endless list of qualities, and it made natural sense because a Vaishnava is like that, being very dear to Krishna. So let's thank Maharaj for showering the nectar today. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Hare Hari Bol. We'll have a continued good fortune to hear from him this Saturday for Srimad Bhagavatam program at 7:30 and in the morning, and Sunday feast at 3 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there and serving you. We are thankful to His Grace Vindhari Gopal Prabhuji for bringing us the broadcast program live. Hari Bol! And to our wonderful online audience for joining in and participating. I remember Balimadan Prabhuji's reflection wherein he explained the term Dhriti, which is capability to overcome unsteadiness, or steadfastness as he described. And then he said, proceeding in that manner, a devotee achieves the opulence of patience. So we felt the presence, as Maharaj said, of devotees joining us online. Next, we'll move towards the prasadam portion of the program, and we'll thank and acknowledge the cooks for tonight.
Hare Krishna. Today's prasadam is cooked by Rupa Shri Mataji, Vishwapati Prabhu, Rohini, Saubhagya Mataji, and Kalpana Mataji.
Hari Bol! Do we have first-time visitors here visiting us? No? We miss Madhav? Yes. We miss Vrindavan, so Madhav is here. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Madhav and for all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll sing Prasadam prayers and honor Prasadam now.
Sharira Drijata Jodendriya Dharmaje Jivayati Lobamoy Sudhurmati Take Jeta Kartita Sangshare Krishna Boyra Doyamo Koribari Jvaja Shaprasha Annadilobha Shayandamrita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Rakho Shri Chaitanya Dita Shayandam Prabhu Advaitera Kare Dui Prabhu Bhojane Bosila Shakori Ashwadana Prabhu Bole Bhakta Gana Esha Krishna Ashwadila Heno Shakashwadane Krishna Prema Oishe Mane She Preme Koro Ashwadan Jada Buddhi Parihari Prasada Bhojana Kori Hare Hare Bolo Sarvaja. Hare Hare Bolo Sarvaja. Vavrshare Govinde Dhamma Brahmadi Vaishnave Swapa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Navajayat Prasade Sarvadukana Hanirasyo Pajayate Prasanate Taso Yashu Bhuripaya Vatishtate Tayopa Bhukta Shragandan Vasalankara Charchitaha Uchishta Bojino Dasas Tavamayam Jayemahi Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasadaki Gopre Manande Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Please come take prasadam. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.